Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. This is the third try of the video of who is going to win the WWE's Royal Rumble for 2025, coming to you live from Indianapolis. It's going to be the weekend of February the 1st. Last night on Monday Night Raw was really like our avalanche of main eventers throwing their hat in the ring for the Royal Rumble. I honestly think this year the first name to declare for the WWE's Royal Rumble was Jey Uso, followed by Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. I'll tell you the truth. I mean, this year is going to be a weird year. Oh, and I apologize. John Cena declared for the Royal Rumble. I mean, Cena coming back. He's going to be huge on his 1-year countdown to his retirement in the world of WWE. He's still going to make appearances and be an ambassador along the way. But no longer going to be physically wrestling matches from bell to bell. I think that anytime he shows up on a Raw or a SmackDown, an attitude adjustment, something like that's gonna happen. It's gonna take place. I mean, anytime he gets Cena in the ring wearing the jorts and the t-shirt, although he did say he was to retire the jorts, but as of right now, I think you got your biggest names, declared for the Rumble. Roman Reigns, for me, really was a surprise. The fact that he's going to be in the Rumble sort of says that he still has a chance of having the match with Cody Rhodes, and that's what Paul Heyman came out and he said that he was going to do. A lot of people are pointing to the fact that they think it's going to be Cena. Whether if Cena gets there by winning the Rumble, whether if he gets there by winning the Elimination Chamber. I think that anywhere that Cena wrestles on the WrestleMania card is going to be a main event. I'm not the biggest fan of Cena winning the championship early in his quest. I know that a lot of people think that number 17 is coming our way, but thank you. We'll have to see. I think if Cena comes out, wins the Rumble, goes to WrestleMania, beats Cena, like let's say he defends the title a few times, loses it, and it's like September, what is he going to do that really matters in like October, November, December if he's not really the champion and he's not, questing to go after number 17 to tie Ric Flair? Not quite sure. One of my favorite guys that's a favorite in this whole Royal Rumble deal would be Drew McIntyre. Drew, even last night when he came out, he basically said that we were going to have a 3-way fight between Rollins and CM Punk. But, then he was like, why would I do that? His whole thing is trying to prove to everybody that he is the good guy in this whole situation. He thinks that Punk did him wrong in order to win the match at Hell in a Cell. He thinks that Rollins, bent over to help Cody last year. He still thinks that Roman Reigns is the number one heel in the company, even though that he is, basically portraying himself as a good guy. He still has guys like Sami Zayn, Jimmy and Jey Uso fighting his fight for him. One of the reasons he's really mad at Cody as well was helping at Bad Blood, and then of course CM Punk helping at War Games at Survivor Series. I don't really see Drew winning it, but the one thing I was thinking of during his promo is, wrestling does repeat itself. when they feel like not that many people remember it. But one of my favorite Royal Rumbles was the one in Houston, where they did the screwy finish where the referee didn't see that Stone Cold Steve Austin had been eliminated. He sneaks back into the ring, and then the guy that I think was the odds-on favorite to win that Rumble was Bret the Hitman Hart, ends up getting eliminated, and Stone Cold Steve Austin steals the victory. Of course, you know, they looked at the tape. I believe it was Gorilla Monsoon who was the commissioner at the time, and he ends up putting together the In Your House Final Four with the four-way match with the last four competitors, to basically set up, you know, who the real winner of the Royal Rumble is, even though they still talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin won the Rumble when talking about the lineage and the history of the Royal Rumble and Stone Cold Steve Austin. They always leave that on the record books for him. CM Punk, I think a lot of people want to see him win a Rumble because of the fact he's never done it. I think that honestly putting Punk in the ring against Cody is sort of like a good guy versus good guy situation that's going to split the house. I think a lot of people are going to be like able to say that they're fans of both, but when you put them in the ring against each other, people are going to have to pick a side, and that's when it's going to get weird. And you got to wonder if, you know, you're going to have a lot of boos in that crowd because of the fact that everybody's cheering for everybody the whole match, no matter really what's going on. I don't know. This one's going to be really good, and I honestly think that it's going to be. It's just hard to really pick what's going down. I still like the idea of The Rock surprising everybody. Maybe that's why at the Netflix debut, he came out there and he was just, you know, handing out flowers and giving roses to all the wrestlers around there, because he wants them to all let his guard down. But at the end of the day, he's on the board. He can do whatever he wants to. Everybody can remember, you know, them filming the segment and then sort of tearing the wall down, because after they said that the segment was over, The Rock kept on beating up Cody Rhodes outside by the bus, whipping him with the belt. And then he gave the bloody belt to Cody and basically said to, you know, give it to his mom, to Mama Rhodes. You know, can the Rumble be going on? Number 30. And then we see the fight, and as the match sort of dies down and we get to, you know, the final four, the final three, and the rock music comes on and the final boss comes down to the ring, and it's like, what the fuck? These guys have all fought. They've all given so much. Now this guy's just going to walk in, you know, toss two guys over the top rope, and he's going to be the guy who wins the Royal Rumble. We've had a 40-man Royal Rumble before. We had the world's greatest Royal Rumble, which had I think it had 50 wrestlers in it, if I remember right, or something like that. That was the one that happened in Saudi Arabia, roughly 2016, 2017. But never have we had a 31-man Royal Rumble, and that's definitely something that we will remember for a long time. 3 weeks ago, The Rock was the guy that I was picking to win the Rumble. I think as of right now, it dies down a little bit. Right now, I think Cena is the guy really to do it. I want to see Drew do it. Drew versus Cody would be a really interesting match. We've seen Drew versus Punk. We've seen Drew versus... We're going to see Drew versus Rollins on Monday coming up. I mean, Drew's a really good champion one way or another, good guy, bad guy. He's really set into that role. And to just think of him as a low main eventer, I think he's bigger than that. And the fact that WWE, you know, ponied up and signed him to that big deal, when he was having his feud against Rollins, I think that there's more to come there. Seth is a guy, a lot like, you know, Chad Gable. Chad Gable's a really awesome wrestler, and they've used him to get over the Wyatt Six. They used him to get over Penta in his debut last night. Rollins is a guy that can always take a loss, and he's always going to bounce back. He can take 2 weeks off, come back, and people are going to cheer for him on honestly no matter what. He's pretty much the face of WWE. He doesn't need a championship in order to be that main guy. Rollins has won one Rumble before. I'm trying to remember what year that was, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was to go to WrestleMania 34 is when Rollins went there. But you just know that Rollins is going to have a good match with honestly anybody. But you know, a lot of years you sit around and you look at the Royal Rumble and you're like, man, I think that this guy has a chance, or I think that guy has a chance. This year, I think everybody that's declared at this point, there's not going to be any surprise entrants from here on out. Maybe besides for The Rock. But anybody else who wins a match to go to the Royal Rumble, anybody else who declares to go along the way, I don't know. I just think that's what's going to be. Those are your heavy favorites. I know that I swayed when people were really saying that The Office, you know, Dave Meltzer was saying the plan as of right now is Cena versus Cody. And as of right now, I think that's the match that I want to see. So I'm picking Cena to get there. But if I had to put people, honestly, like in the rankings of where I think they're going to go, it would be Cena, McIntyre, The Rock, CM Punk, Rollins, Jey Uso. And I apologize if I'm missing any of the big names, but as of right now, that's what I'm thinking. John Cena.